Hello and welcome back to Stories, the Path of Destinies. Let's continue. Oh, this is just a trailer for another game. Yeah, I thought Omen Sight was something interesting. I mean, I guess it
Renato
looks
had it all
interesting.
squared away in his head. He would kill the Emperor. Isengrim III had begun well, but he had gone mad. He was trying to invoke the lost gods by means of dark, blasphemous rituals. That
Oh,
was a secret. But the victims had spoken to Renato. The ghosts had spoken. No. No anger. Renato could not afford anger. He was empowering the crystal in his sword. That made him stronger, but it clouded his mind. He would not be a hero. A hero strives. Renato would just be one with everything. The Emperor would die, and the wheel would turn, and all would be restored without rancor, without sorrow, without pain.
Let's see. I can upgrade.
More fire? Yes, please.
So our objective is to, kill the Emperor. That should be easy. Yeah, it needs a void sword. No skilled points available.
Ooh, sparkly, thought Renato.
Yeah, imperfect, but fine enough.
When Renato went to the china shop, for some reason the owner was always nervous.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of ore.
This is quite the view, he thought. actually.
Yeah. So that requires a void sword. Yeah, imperfect, but fine enough.
Think eyes you have.
Alright.
But the more he thought about it, and he had so much more time to think about it now that he was not worrying about the battle, killing the Emperor would not change anything. Another would take his place.
Yeah.
Perhaps Zenobia. Perhaps the Speaker of the Rebel Council, and power would corrupt them too, and death would make grief, and grief would lead to hatred. He must lead by example. Reject the violence. Reject the desire to create violence. But
Yeah.
how? He'd once met a pirate captain who used hooks to get around his ship. Oh, what was his name again?
Level up.
Coming back to him. He wondered what he'd remember next.
Yay.
There was an inscription, no spitting.
That's good. Do. Hi. Channers can buff and heal enemies. Buffed ravens can get very dangerous. Got it. Uh-oh. I'm guessing that's the end.
Finally, he came to the Emperor's ship. The path
Died
behind
5
him
times
was
in a
strewn
story.
with dead ravens. The path to enlightenment. His mistake, he realized, was trying to change the world. The world would spin and the wheel would revolve whether he strove against it or not.
No.
What he had to do was nothing. He had attained enlightenment. He sat down, adopted a full lotus position, and began to meditate. And all around him, the warriors stopped fighting too. They knew. They could feel his enlightenment. They gave up fighting, dropped their weapons, and became his disciples.
Oh?
No, just kidding. The nearest raven stabbed him with a sword and then chopped off his head.
Yeah.
Might not have thought this through properly. Thought Renado's head as it rolled around the deck and died.
Yeah.
Renato stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that.
Mm-hmm.
But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way.
True.
It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably.
Oh.
Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learned another true thing.
That's
The
good.
Iblis Stone was evil. It would try to corrupt anyone who used it.
Mm-hmm. Story 15, Return of the Hippie. What kind of hero are you? Hero who transcends being a hero to become one with everything. Leveled up. New truth revealed. The Iblis Stone corrupts anyone who uses it. Tier 3 skills unlocked. Find the gem, find the core, meet the scientist, go meditate. Rescue Lupino, find Zenobia, accept Lupino's plan, do not take Zenobia to the interrogators.
But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right?
Right.
Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Well, we haven't done this one yet.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Right.
As he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Interesting. Get the Sky Ripper armature.
This chest made music when you opened it. Too bad it was Muzak.
Oh. Okay, I'm definitely curious about the tunnel. Okay, that sword's at maximum level. I need 12 or 15 essences. You'd think I'd be able to, like, sell my, other gems.
What was really fun was hooking yourself onto a moving ship.
True. Okay, that just brings us back here, which is not bad. Do research on each type of enemy with your sword. Nobody here but us foxies.
The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper
Probably.
could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the lost gods, thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
Sometimes.
Renato, smash!
Yeah. 2 skill points available. Attack enemies at any distance. Auto activates when reaching a certain combo threshold. Increases maximum sword energy. Oh, I like that. Inflict damage on hooked enemies. That's also really nice. I haven't really been using dash.
Every day he was getting better and better.
I'm no rookie. Remember your old talents by spending 15 points.
He needed some way to break the ice with this wall, so to speak.
So where are you taking me? Big chest.
His sword food teacher used to say power gems were cheating. Stupid old fart.
Yeah. In fights, there's really just winners. One close behind me. Fine. I won't attach this power gem.
Renato felt a breeze through his armor. Oh dear, that wasn't good.
No. Okay, that's a void sword.
Touché, she said, and died.
Uh-oh. There we go. Feels like I should be able to get in the middle of that. Nope. Not what I wanted to do.
Where is the cake? You'd been promised cake.
Yeah. The cake is a lie.
Puzzle. Renato loved puzzles.
Yeah,
Except when he couldn't figure them out.
true.
On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good.
True. Oh, aren't you cute?
See? That wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
The new pathway made Renato curious.
Yeah. grunt in a can. Show 25 shield ravens. Best defense is actually offense. Stuff.
Boy, someone has spent a lot of money for a graduation present.
Yeah.
That had been his mistake before, thinking he could win a battle of wills with an ancient evil all by himself. He had to be cleverer than that. Or braver. Or something.
Yeah. Same path.
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well,
Yeah.
there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
For some inexplicable reason, Renato chose Zenobia. Renato found the armature of Skyripper. Without the core, it would just be an empty and useless shell. Maybe you should see Zenobia, who just invaded a city nearby. Emperor's adopted daughter and greatest general, but she was also his old friend. Renato didn't know why. He felt the urge to see her. We need to go to the core of the Skyripper, obviously. Renato has found the armature of the Skyripper. Without the core, it would just be an empty and useless shell. Only reason one would seek the armature was to build a legendary weapon that had once banished the lost gods. Obviously, Renato should go get the core. Yeah, maybe we should follow this thread.
It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core. Doubt sunk in before he was even out of sight of the Farfarer. Why had he chosen the Skyripper? It was the sort of path he'd always avoided. The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Had he grown up? He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. Did that make any sense?
Sure. And I can't just drop down there.
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. They really needed to construct additional pylons.
StarCraft jokes. Yeah, and there's a scroll down there.
Hey, a workbench. He could try out his new bling.
Yeah. Resistance spell damage? That sounds really nice. Your hits cause shield drums to drop their shield. super imperfect. It would be nice to get there.
There was something sour in the air.
Yeah.
Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
True.
You almost never saw wild gogglers together like this. The toads had to train them not to peck each other to death. These had to be imperial gogglers. That meant ravens were up ahead. Imagine if you built a house on one of these things. Oh, that would be amazing. It would be like having a boat.
Yeah. Pick the feathers up of 500 dead ravens. Perfect.
There was a pleasant breeze coming through that door. Had it been closed before?
Maybe. Energy on kill. That sounds useful.
Say goodnight, Gracie, said Renato, wondering who Gracie was.
Died wandering on a Burns and Allen routine.
There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
Sounds like it. Not who I wanted to grab.
jewel. Renato couldn't wait to find a workbench.
More physical resistance. I like the sound of that. Open 50 small chests and find space for all that loot. Good thing my pockets are endless. Okay.
Of course there was a puzzle. You couldn't expect the transcendent Emperor to bury a god's eye in a leather sack where anyone could pick it up.
Yeah.
Ow, 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 ow.
That did not feel good. Oh, come on. Yeah. I think a lot of that was losing all my health to
Already Renato knew more than he ever had. But about what?
Was I only level 15 before? So, that's the core.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark art, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lapino wasn't such a good friend. Yeah, that made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But
True.
maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Yeah, we've been reckless this playthrough. No time for fussing. Attack the outpost.
Renato had never been much of a student. At Swordfu School, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. And Zenobia.
Oh.
But weapons, he understood. His gut told him that the Skyripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists. Right? Exactly.
Right.
As he
Blocks
set
of
out
action.
down the path, Renato wondered why the parts of the Skyripper had only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it. This Emperor, Isengrim III, had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Perhaps that was bringing up lost artifacts. How
Could be.
perfect, then, that the Skyripper would reappear to be his destruction.
That's Skyripper on the Imperial outpost. Is there anything else around here? Was hoping I'd find an upgrade station or something. Yeah, that's all that there is around here.
He felt like Tarzan.
How would you know who Tarzan is?
Smashing things was fun.
It is. Attack enemies at any distance sounds really useful. Kick and throw distances are increased. I like that.
He was more and more extraordinary.
Yeah, need the Void Sword. Then I'd be able to go into each of the,
Nothing gets your blood pumping like a bit of killing.
I guess.
was tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test out the new weapon. He turned a knob on the Sky Ripper. It made strange mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum.
The Sky Ripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger. How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened.
Oh.
Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years.
True.
Oh, they really ought to put a railing on this thing, he thought.
Yeah. Really useful. But I kind of like... Yeah. I just need 8 ore. Come on, hookshot. That'll be for another time when we come back, folks. Well, we've got the ultimate weapon. I'm sure that'll help. Have a good one, folks.